ran out of music, but I did get it right this morning. Hold on there. The surprise that you have seen in promos for today's broadcast is that Randy Rhodes, is back, and so is the cat.
Yes. She's happy too.
Who was so excited that you're back that she came back to be part of the broadcast.
No problem with that. You know, my cat's here somewhere.
That is Agnes, aka girlfriend.
There you go. We have 7 cats. I've mentioned many times before, and it's funny how each cat picks an adult, a human, to be close to, and I have 2 cats, Cora and Sonata, who are very close to me. Kendall could care less who adult is in the room, and then Serena is she's still semi feral. So she says, "Go to hell with all of you guys. Just leave me alone." But thanks for saving me. Yeah, that's the way it is. But yeah, you know, some things I want to talk about. My first thing I'm gonna do, I'll get my bits off.
Okay, get your bitch off.
So my iPad and my iPhone took some software updates. I'm sure everybody's did, and I use my cell phones. I use my iPads as part of my easy tools for doing Ancestry. So when I do Ancestry, I'll do a split screen. One side is going to be the Ancestry, the other side is going to be whatever. Okay, and it was really easy. You just there's like 3 dots at the top of the center of the screen. You click on the 3 dots and it split the screen.
Yep.
It took me 3 freaking days and my daughter to finally show me how the hell to split the screen now. So instead of being 3, let me see, I'll make it big here. So instead of being 3, you can't probably see it, 3 dots, it's actually, let me see if I can find it here, a red, yellow, and green up here in this corner here, above my face. So there's it's supposed to be like a traffic light, okay?
Yep.
And the red is to turn off the app. Yellow is to, I have no idea. Green is to split.
Okay.
So, and now here, if you can see it, over here, get my finger right. Oh, where's my finger? That little curvy thing there. I keep my finger right. Oops, right there. Okay. That's how you manipulate the screen.
Okay.
So I'm finally used to it. I don't know why the hell they had to change things, but they did. So that's a pain in my ass. But actually, I can now have more screens on my iPad.
Okay.
So in a way, it helps. But that's my bitch for today.
Well, I wish I could help you, but I made it to iOS 15.9, which was as high as I could go on the iPad I had. So I gave it to my grandson, and it was just an experiment to play around with one. So I really didn't use it much, but I like the machine. I'm sure I would love a new one. I know the iPad Air 12, I think it is a huge piece of equipment. So I probably very much enjoy having that.
I'm very tempted myself.
Yes.
I just last month made the final payments on my iPad and 2 cell phones.
Yep.
So my cellular bill went from $80 down to like $10.
Good.
Which is a good thing, but they keep teasing me with this bigger iPad screen, and it's like my wife said, "Why do you need it?" Well, my eyes are getting dimmer. I use the iPad a lot, but it's why do you need it? You got that big computer upstairs. It's like, yeah, I know, but So I probably, just to keep the peace, probably won't do it. But I did do some online look-sees to see what be worthwhile talking about today. So unless you have something to get started off, I'll.
I have a lot of things I can get started at. Big deal. The Democrats think they're going to flip the House. They have to flip the House and hope that the Senate rules in favor of Donald Trump's third impeachment. If that's what you think it is, they're not doing it because he's violated the rule of law. They're doing it because it's Donald Trump and he has done things that they don't want him to do. They don't want him to take inflation away. They don't want him to lower prices. They don't want him to make this easier for you or that easier for you. They don't want the government to continue to make it easier for ICE to do its job. I'm not talking about protests, okay? Well, they will make it easier if people aren't interfering in what ICE is doing. Because never before in our history have people put themselves right where ICE is and are there for no other reason than to wreak havoc. And these are people who are trained and know what they're doing. And if they pull their weapon, as far as I'm concerned, they think they are at risk and their team is at risk. And they're going to pull their weapon and they're going to fire. Or you're going to pull your weapon, they're going to pull their weapon, and somebody's going to get fired upon. That's all I have to say on that one.
You know, Texas just lost a seat that they could not afford to lose. So now there's only one vote majority in the Senate, which is pretty gosh darn sad. And Trump is doing a lot of these, going out on his own to do certain things, like Venezuela and so forth. And one of these days, Congress or Senate's going to slap him down, saying you got to stop doing it. We're not going to allow you to use the military willy nilly just to assert your authority over a country or a group of people. And
And okay, go ahead.
uh, but I have a book that I've read, and Trump is not the first president to do what he's doing with the military. Uh, Virtually all the land that we have or have made in the states or in the territories or some type of your ours nobody else's scenario is because we manipulated the surrounding area. We pretended that there was a war. We blew up our own ship. We overthrew a particular government because we wanted to buy their sugar from them at a certain fixed price. And then we made it like she was being attacked and she needed the Queen of Hawaii and she needed our military to go in. So we went with our military and we stayed afterwards and all kinds of ways we manipulated the wars. I still believe Pearl Harbor was done by our own government because they allowed the Japanese to attack Pearl Harbor. Come on, what commander, what admiral is dumb enough to park every freaking battleship and destroyer in a single line, okay, without knowing that there's a war out there going on? Who does that? You do it on
Well,
purpose because you knew that the attack was coming and you were ordered to do that.
well, I was going to say that the leaders of Japan had to have known that we were going to drop a bomb as big as they did, and if they didn't, then you know we have more than repaid Japan for what we did for knocking people in line. And that's what you do in war. You knock people in line, I guess. I still don't understand, and I'm going to say it again, why people can't just sit at a table, break bread, agree to what they agreed on, work on what they don't. You know, if people feel that the United States should be number one and that America should come first, well, congratulations. if you feel that way. Now prove to me that you think we need to be that way.
Right.
He's got a very tough job in the sense that he wants to do what he wants to do in the 3 years that he has left. Can he do it? I don't know. If we flip the House to Democrat, I don't think we can do it. If we keep the House as a Republican majority, with the Democrats kicking into that, then yeah, I think he can. Uh, the Democrats have launched us into now another shutdown, as I found out evidently.
Yep. Yep.
While I was asleep last night, they must have shut us down.
It's a small shutdown, but right now it affects the money going to ICE.
Okay. But knowing them, it starts there, meaning that we don't give any more money to ICE, but it will go on to we don't give any more money to anybody, and including ourselves. They'll play with my Social Security. They'll play with your Social Security. They'll play with everything they can play with. And instead of prices going down, they're going to go way up really fast. And people are not going to be able to survive. And you know what? No. Chuck Schumer does not deserve to be reelected for that. Chuck Schumer knew when he read the 1,600 pages of Obamacare that the subsidies were going to expire and needed to be reapproved. He figured Hillary Clinton logic that she was still going to be president and she would extend them. American citizens said hell no, and they weren't there anymore. Do we get something better out of it? I sure as hell hope so. Trump Care or whatever it's going to be called. I hope people get a very low monthly premium or no monthly premium, and get provided better care than they were on. But why we subsidize why we subsidize billion-dollar corporations is beyond me.
Yeah. I recently added an app to my devices to follow the news, and it's called I think it's called Newsbreak. Yes, Newsbreak.
I read Newsbreak. I don't follow them per se.
It's constantly updated. But one of the things it keeps doing, it keeps sending out notifications about Social Security. So they're going, your Social Security check's going to be, it's going to be early. It's going to be smaller. It's going to be bigger. It's going to be blah, 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 right? It's like,
if they touch anybody's Social Security, I honestly hope they get voted out. Boom.
Yeah.
That's the answer. Forget about impeachments and who's going to do impeachments. They need to get voted out right away.
So, did you hear about that singer who had kept pet snakes in her house? Her name, I have a name here for her. I can't. She's from Africa. Okay, she appeared on the Voice for Africa, the country she was in. Anyway, she kept pet snakes, and during night she was sleeping, and I guess her one snake wasn't properly locked in his pen. Got out, got into bed with her, and bit her, and she died. She was 26 years old. I'm sorry, if you're going to keep pet snakes, defang them or take out their poison sac or something like that. Some people have pet cats and they declaw them. Well, you're going to keep pet snakes, take away their ability to kill you in your sleep. That's all I'm saying. The weather, what the hell's going on with the weather? Up until this year, you can hardly see anything about snow. And here, virtually, like with 300 million just like 200 million Americans were hit with snow and ice, and they
Yeah,
still are.
that appears to be going away here in Florida, where we should be in the upper 60s, 70s right now. That's coming back. Uh,
Well,
we may
well,
still have a few cold mornings, but for the most part, it's coming back. And we didn't move to Michigan, which is below zero, or Wisconsin, which is below zero, because we don't want to be below zero. We could have stayed in Connecticut and,
yeah.
and felt below zero. And we got to figure out how not to make people
I mean,
below zero. Uh,
I can't imagine the kind of weather that Florida's getting is good for the fresh produce
well,
business.
from what I understand, most of that's gone away anyway.
Yeah,
Uh, we don't we don't grow
that's
we don't
sad.
grow a lot of
So,
it anymore.
this is supposedly is for this weekend's weather. Kentucky, Virginia, South Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, West Virginia, Midwestern, northern states all have a major weather advisory for snow and ice and cold. Uh, it's coming, folks. It really is. Did you hear about Snoop Dogg's granddaughter?
No, I did not hear about Snoop Dogg's granddaughter.
10 months old. She passed away yesterday.
That's very sad.
Apparently, she was born at 6 months, and obviously, that is, a very difficult birth, as well as
Now
uh,
I'm gonna say something that is probably going to upset a lot of people, but I hope they let. Oh no, it's not like I got confused. I was thinking about Puff Daddy when you said Snoop Dogg, and I was gonna say I hope they let him out of prison
prison for
to
the funeral.
to go to the funeral. Now Snoop Dogg is out of prison and deserves to be there. So I apologize for the confusion, even though
Yeah, I mean,
I'm allowed to be confused. But
I can't imagine losing a baby at
no,
10 months old.
no,
That's gonna be heartbreaking.
yep, yep,
Let's see.
yep.
Going through
But
my list.
I do want to let people know while Randy's looking for the next news thing that we are live on my Facebook profile. He's clean shaven, and we're live on X, and we're live on Streetlock. If you are so inclined, you come in through the YouTube live chat. So welcome to anyone who does that. And the Facebook people have an option to watch us on Facebook.
Yeah, speaking of Facebook,
Go ahead.
uh, I use Suno.com to create the music I use in my broadcasts.
Yep,
So I own the rights to it.
yep.
Can you believe they nailed me for the one song I created saying I don't own the rights to it?
Well, okay, how do they figure you don't own the rights to it?
There's those 4 or 5 freaking countries out in no man's land. They say I don't own the rights to it.
Well, okay, but
I respond back. I responded back to Facebook. I said I do own the rights for it. I created it using Suno. I haven't heard anything since. So,
well, you have to wait for them to read it. They're very busy. They don't have time for
uh,
half the things that they're
speaking of music,
responsible for.
have you been following the hoopla about the Kennedy Center,
No,
Kennedy Trump
not
Center?
really. No, not really.
Well, someone, I don't know who, decided that they wanted to add Trump's name to the Kennedy Center. So
Okay.
they did. So it's now the Kennedy Trump Center.
Oh, we lost Randy, and he'll be back. But there's more important things that we need to deal with than whether or not Trump's name is in the name of the Kennedy Center. There's more important things that we need to argue about than if Trump is building the the big beautiful ballroom at the White House. Randy's back.
You don't
But
want me.
yeah,
That's the
no, I
second
do.
time.
My hands were
No,
nowhere near where they
it's
should have,
uh,
nowhere near where they could have
well,
disconnected.
no. The dimensions I got on my screen was about a firewall. A firewall is blocking you and me.
I don't. Well, I'll have to look around to see if I have one because as far as I know, I don't have it. A
So
firewall is something you should have, but
it's possible.
I don't have one.
My computer has done some updates the past couple of days.
Yep.
Like each day has done an update. I'll have to check the settings to see if
It,
maybe it enhanced the firewall. But so anyway, so for whatever reason, they say to honor Trump by adding his name to the Kennedy Center. So
okay,
of course, most artists, are liberal, left wing, communist,
right.
socialist
Have
people.
said they're not going to play there.
Correct. So enough people have said they're not going to appear there. So what does Trump do? He shuts the whole damn thing down. So no one can perform there for
Well,
2 years.
that
He's,
I
u-
think that I think was a little bit extreme.
he's
You
using the
know,
excuse that the center needs to be updated. So he's going to put the
well,
Trump touch on updating the look of the center.
well,
Uh,
you know what? If it's going to be empty and it's going to be empty for 2 years, he's the chairman of the Trump Kennedy Center board now. He can do what he wants.
Well, no, but
that's
the thing is he's the one who shut it down. I think in a way to smack their faces for
well,
not
he
wanting
did.
to
He
perform,
did. He
and he's
did.
using the excuse that the place needs to be upgraded.
I'm of the reality that if an artist doesn't want my money, meaning they don't want me to buy a ticket and go to their show, then they don't need me to spend money and go to their show.
Yeah,
And there was a time when artists wanted your money, so you went to their shows, and everybody was happy. But now this is just, oh, I don't like Trump, so I'm not gonna tour the United States. Well, good, don't tour the United States. Don't expect to be material that I use on my broadcasts because you decided that you weren't going to play the United States. We're a United States show. Yeah, they hear us in Poland, which is great. And yeah, they hear us in Russia, which is great. And yeah, they don't hear us in Belize and 14 other countries for everything I do. And even that's a gag that, you know, maybe the record companies don't have rights in 14 countries. Maybe I don't have rights in those 14 countries. Don't want them. They don't watch anyway.
there was a music show, award show a day or two ago, and
Okay.
I forget what they call it, but the whole thing was political and obviously anti-Trump.
Yeah.
So again, they're killing their own ratings.
They
People don't
are.
watch it anymore.
Oh,
I mean, I used to watch it because of, I loved watching, the acts,
yeah.
but
The NFL is going to get beaten down this year that people either aren't going to watch the Super Bowl or they're going to tune out during the halftime show and then tune back in. I think it's a mistake because you missed what everybody goes to the Super Bowl for. Some people actually go for the game. Some people actually go for the commercials.
yeah, and some people go for the beer and the hot dogs.
Well,
Uh, but I understand it's very expensive. It used to be a thing to take your kid to the baseball game or to the football
yeah,
game, but holy crap, you need to take out bank loans nowadays.
yeah, the Super Bowl is expensive. You got to get a hotel room. You got to and there's certain hotels that you want to book in time so that you're close enough to the game. Because if you book one outside of a certain distance, you're far away, and you got to battle traffic and everything, or leave earlier, or not leave. So so that you catch it all. And I just you know congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots who made it this year And as far as I'm concerned, I hope the New England Patriots win and win by 6 points.
Did you have you been following Melania's movie?
I followed that it nosedived here in Jacksonville. There was one theater, I guess, that showed it because they want to be able to continue getting documentaries and things that are important to people, and they had no sales or single digit sales was all I could find. And
Well, actually, for the weekend opener, she did phenomenal. $7 million on the opening weekend, which puts rates her movie as fifth for money making for a weekend out. So the people are very, the
yeah, well,
money makers are very pleased with the turnout of the money.
you know,
Um,
it's nothing against her that I say it. It's because she wasn't involved, from what I understand, in the production of it. The Rat Pack just went and made a movie of her, and you know, I'm sure it did well in some markets because people wanted to go see it to see what was in it.
that could be people went there just out of curiosity, see what the big hoopla is
Yeah,
about it. Um,
I haven't gone to see it because no one wants to go see it. So, you know,
Okay, here's
life,
one that
life doesn't get you there.
uh, our government, our criminal, uh, uh,
Enterprise.
no, our our criminal, uh, uh, ju- judici- whatever. Anyways, where you're supposed to be given a quick and speedy trial if you get caught and
Yes.
arrested for a crime. Okay, so here's a guy, Miami Dade. 30 years ago, he kidnapped a 5-year-old girl and left her in the Everglades for the alligators to eat her. Okay. So he was caught, he was arrested, and he was sentenced to death. Okay. Back in 1998. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Here it is, 2026. And uh, he's still alive. And the most recent hearing is that he is not going to face the death penalty. Uh, I guess it's just the change of the times of how people look at applying the death penalty to certain people. But so this guy's been sitting in the jail cell for all those years, expecting to be put to death. To finally now, he's not going to be put to death.
Well, I'm sure he's much happier that he's not going to be
Yeah,
put to death. But all the death penalty he does anyway, really, as far as I'm concerned, is it puts one person to death. It doesn't mean that anybody else who wants to go out and go do the same thing is automatically going to be put to death. It just means that one person is going to be put to death. So in theory, it doesn't stop anything. I still think prison for life really isn't a penalty that you pay, other than you don't have the freedoms that you have outside the four walls of a prison. But realistically, you get clean clothes on some kind of schedule. You get clean bed sheets on some kind of schedule. You eat 3 meals a day. You know, if you don't work, you come out of your cell for an hour or more a day, and you drink coffee and have fun with the rest of the inmates, and then you know, well, when you look at it, what's not to lose? I mean, what's not to want to be
yeah.
there yourself? Maybe they're training us all that that's where we want to be.
Did you hear about the road rage incident that resulted in a young girl being shot?
Road rage is a terrible thing. And I know because I probably haven't, but I haven't driven it in 4 years. So, you know, now it's just funny ramblings of a madman.
So what happened was this woman with her 10-year-old daughter in the car realized that there was a car accident ahead, and
Mhm.
this guy was driving up behind her, to pass her, not aware of the situation. So she blew her horn at him to try and get his attention to slow him down because of what was going on ahead.
Yep.
And for whatever reason, he took out his gun and just shot blindly into the car, shooting the young girl in the stomach. Now, from what I
Yep.
understand, is that she survived, but it just goes to show sometimes doing a what you think is a good deed might not always pay out.
I don't.
Probably just to keep the peace.
I don't
I
understand.
did do some online bookies.
Oops, wait a minute. The volume is turned way up on this one. It is. Yeah, I gotta turn the volume down. There we go. I don't understand why uh, why we do that. I mean, why do you get so mad at a person that you pull a gun and kill them? I mean, what the hell does it do? If you had to be somewhere and you're already late, you're already late. Killing that person wasn't, and she probably wasn't even responsible for why you were late.
Yeah, I don't get either. Um, so that's it for what I pulled out this morning. Let me go over here to
Okay,
my live feed.
okay. Well, I mean, there's all the stuff that we talk about. Ilhan Omar, did she stage it or not? What's happening in Minnesota? Did the Democrats stage it or not? I did notice that over the last few days that the mayor of Chicago, Brendan, who I can't remember his last name, but the mayor of Chicago is back in the press and he's asking all kinds of questions and saying all kinds of things to hopefully for him draw the attention off of Minnesota and put it on him. And I
Oh my God.
and I don't understand. I don't understand that. I mean, does he really want what's happening in Minnesota right now, regardless of who's right? Does he really want what's happening in Minnesota in Illinois and in particular in his turf of Chicago?
Okay. Oh, I did not need to see that. Yeah, I'm not even gonna bring it up in the conversation. It's just too
What?
nasty.
Well, now you've told everybody you're not going to bring that up.
Do you want to
So
see? Do you want to see the video?
I really don't, but I'm
Okay.
sure I'm sure I want to anyway
Uh,
now because you have me.
so Chappelle Roan's sheer Grammys look risks jail time. It's an outfit that she wore to the Grammys,
No,
and
no.
doesn't leave much to the imagination. If you get my drift.
Well, it leaves a lot to my imagination because now I'm imagining what I would not have done to go to the Grammys.
I mean, it's only like a few seconds, but let's do a
No, no, let's
let's
not
do a
say
warning. Let's not risk the
let's not.
algorithms.
No, yeah. Well, no, let's just not say we did. I mean, if you
And
were
the
if you
point
were
of it is,
taken off of a
you want
social media network because of what a person wore, and you showed what that person wore, then that's that's a problem between you and the social media network. But no, you should not be taken off for showing
you know
that
these
video.
these actresses wear these outfits because they want to grab the attention to themselves. They may not be getting an award or recognition for their art, but they want to draw the attention to them. So they wear these outfits. They're like,
Well,
you know,
everybody outdresses everybody at that thing. You see, but I mean, when you look at the guys, it's funny. Now it's just a simple black suit that the guys wear. They don't even bother with tuxedos anymore. It's just a simple black suit for a lot of them. And,
Okay, let's see what's
you
going on
know,
in the world today. Uh,
making it in the world today requires everything you've got. What's that song from? Uh, yeah, the Cure song. You know, and it is tough today. Anyway, we're on the Bully
so,
the Bull YouTube channel. And if you're in the live chat, you see www.youtube.com/ at Dave Glovin. That's where we are on YouTube, the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel. Join the channel, like the channel, subscribe to the channel, and, and maybe someday everybody will watch the channel. I don't know.
I follow these guys on the computer. They go. Well, it's called magnet fishing. They have this magnet that's capable of like thousands of pounds of force to pick up stuff, and they go to these bridges and they throw the magnet into the water. And they pull. And the point they're trying to do too is to try and clean up the rivers and the waterways, which is
Okay.
a good thing. But in the process, they find all kinds of neat and weird and bizarre stuff, and they're constantly finding guns and stuff like this. Uh, but sometimes they actually find live ammunition. They find live bombs. They find old bombs from the Civil War. They find all kinds of rockets and bullshit like that. So they do due diligence and they call the cops and say the cops come and they do what they got to do with the bomb people. But these guys are young, and I give them credit. But these guys make shitload of money.
Yeah.
They get enough people who follow their show, and this one guy, besides having a really nice car, also has this hellacious big Winnebago type, vehicle that he travels
Yep.
in, and he's worth like $5+ million.
Yeah.
And all he's doing is going out and he's the guy. He almost reminds me, back in the days of California, where the teenagers all had their certain words. You always kept saying, so you knew they're kids, and the guy's constantly talking and so forth. He throws out the magnet, pulls out he got some nails or bottle caps, or I got a gun, 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 ooh, I got a gun, I got a gun. Like, calm down, dude. But they always call the cops. Cops, some cops are nice to them. Some cops are horrible to them. But it's 10, 15 minutes of my watching while I'm doing my work. But they make a lot of money. Now they have this one young lady. She's from the South. She's got a really good, strong accent,
Yep.
and I think she's got followed because of the way she looks. If you get my drift,
She could.
but
She could have.
intelligence wise, not there. Oh, what is this? Well, and she gets all excited. Oh, I found, look at this. Found a nail. Oh, it's a pretty, I never seen a nail. It's like, good Lord, girl, this, keep going. But, and they go, they take their, all, of course, all this is metal. So they
Yep.
load up their trailer, they take it to the scrapyard. They might get 10, 15, $20 for their effort, but
Okay.
they're doing a good thing. They're cleaning up
Yep.
the best they can, and I give them kudos.
Yep.
But I mean, I probably would do something like that if I was younger, go out there and enjoying life. But I'm old, and I'm starting to feel it, guys. I really am. The I don't know if I'm going through heat flashes now, but I'll go downstairs sometimes. Like, oh, God, it's hot in here. Oh my God, what's the temperature set at? Oh, it's nicer, Dad. It's only 67, and then the thermostat. Well, I'm sweating. And the WD will come down. Oh my God, it's cold. Turn the freaking heat up. It's like, Dad, you're going through the change of life. I said, I'm 68. I'm not going through any changes.
I don't know. It sounds like you are, but I'm not. I'm only 64. so I don't know.
If for those of you who have kids, I hope your relationship with kids is better than mine. My son lives like 5, 8 minutes from me. I never see him or his wife or his grandkids, never.
Mhm.
And I try reaching out to him, and I'm old school, so I'll call, actually dial the phone and call and ring, 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 and it goes to voicemail, right?
So leave a message.
And I leave a message and never get any phone calls back.
Okay.
So I sent a text. I get no response back. And
Leave a message.
I do. I text a message.
Yep.
So I got no responses back. So then I text one of his kids. I said, "Why is your dad ignoring me?" I tried calling him. I've tried texting him. I'm not getting any responses back. It's been like a week, right? And so they'll go to his dad. And I guess the dad finally, texting back. I don't look for my text messages. I said, "We
Okay.
don't look for your voicemails either. How am I supposed to talk to you?"
Well, no, I understand, but I mean, if it was me, I'd just leave the message, or realize that they're not going to talk to me and not send a message to them.
What I
I
really
mean,
should do is go really old school and write a letter to them and write it in cursive.
they may not remember how to read it,
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I might
and
just do that.
it's funny now that you say that because a lot of the printers have a cursive font.
Yeah.
So if you can't write in cursive, you can type in cursive to people. I think it's an important thing that people need to learn how to do. It doesn't necessarily have to be in cursive. You need to be able to write. You need to be able to read. Uh, I don't think that the public schools do the job they're supposed to do. They just do the job they want to do, and that's that.
Well,
The
well, how
idea. Go ahead.
how do they expect to teach them cursive? Because my son's schools gave all the kids iPads. That's how they read their textbooks, and that's how they do their
You
homework on an iPad.
then you limit the amount of time that they can use the iPad, and
Right?
and that way you
No,
don't pass you
no,
don't
no, no,
pass
no,
it out to them
no,
so
no, no.
they
You,
can't
you you
do it.
don't you don't understand that instead of having a physical textbook, the textbook is in the iPad. Whoops, it's in the iPad.
But then
So
you collect the iPad. It's like I would be the perfect teacher, adjunct, professor, or whatever, because I would first say to everybody in my college level class, okay, turn in your computers, your iPads, your laptops, your cell phones, whatever else, while you're here, and we're just going to have a conversation.
that
And the,
would
con-
make sense if they
and
do
the
it. I don't
conversation,
know.
well, then if they don't do it, then they're not in my class. It's that simple. If you
No,
don't
but
want to
I'm
do it,
saying
then
right.
get out of my
I don't.
class.
It would have to be a point of if the schools, that would make sense to me. That the school district say, okay, here's our school iPads. Your textbooks are in there. We want you to read your textbooks, use an iPad. We want you to turn your homework and use your iPad. But when you're in the physical classroom, we want your attention up here to the chalkboard.
Well,
I don't know if they
or
do that anymore.
whatever. I mean, there may be a physical reason for passing out everybody's iPad to them in my class, and I want that. But there's going to be times that I expect you to be able to talk and talk with everybody else, and not be afraid to raise your hand and share your idea. I mean, the worst thing that can happen is everybody likes your idea because then you have to make it work. Or everybody hates your idea, but that's okay. That's how we are in the real world anyway. But realistically, no. Being dependent on the box 24/7 is not the way to go. And that again comes from a person who is dependent on his boxes 24/7. You know, because I don't go out in the real world and talk to people. Why? Because I try to put the blame on. I don't have transportation that will get me to where I'm going. I said to someone the other night on their broadcast, I'd love to be one of the old men who talks to old men who want to talk politics at McDonald's. I don't care. I buy
Yeah.
my first cup of coffee. If they want to give me a free cup of coffee while I'm there, great. If they don't, they don't. If they don't want us there, we'll go find someplace else to talk. You know, uh, on a nice Florida day, we'll go sit in the park and talk.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to be able to go outside and do things, but my legs, my knees, just buckle what, you know.
Right.
So right now I haven't been outside in months,
Mhm.
and right now with the snow and the ice, I don't go outside at
Right.
all. I'm not going to
And,
venture that because I can't afford to break something my age.
right.
Um, so
And I
I
don't because there's a fear that I might fall down, and then I'm with a bunch of people that can't give me the help that I need, so I don't go out. But I'm kind of antisocial in the sense that I don't go out anyway.
antisocial.
Well,
Ooh,
I'm
I
not
don't think
anti.
you're. Yeah,
I'm not.
I
I'm
don't
not.
think you're anti.
I'm not antisocial, but I want to socialize through the box.
You know, I guess the one thing that we haven't talked about, well, actually, two things we haven't talked about, and I'm getting close to my time here,
Yep, you
is
are.
you know, these ICE agents and what they're going through. You know, these ICE agents are in many different states, and as I
Yep.
understand, they're also in different countries,
Yep.
and their job is to find the illegals that Biden allowed into our country in the 4 years he was
Yep.
in office,
Yep.
and they have managed to successfully send thousands back, but there's millions more that had to be sent back.
You are.
And the only state right now that you're hearing the hullabaloo about is in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
And these people who are going there, many of them are from out of state. They're going there carrying weapons or some type of gun or some type of weapon,
Yep.
and they're not going there to peacefully protest. They're going there hoping to
Well.
get some type of reaction from the ICE agents that's going to cause a flurry of things to occur.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, two people got killed. And the ICE agents have to deal with that, and they might
uh,
wind up going to jail. I don't know. I hope not, because had
If
that
the
guy not,
if the
the,
Democrats win the House or take back the House, they might end up in prison for a long time or a short time. But realistically, it's time for people to realize that you don't need to get in the way of ICE doing its job. That's what ICE is doing. If you want to protest it, stand on the safe side of the road and hold your sign up all you want. Don't take your children to what's going to turn into an ICE rally or riot. Just don't, because you don't need to put them at risk. If you want to teach them something, take them to what is supposed to be a peaceful rally that is in fact going to be a peaceful rally. Nobody gets hurt and everyone goes home. Alex Pretty did not go to an ICE rally with a handgun and two magazines to be peaceful.
no.
I mean, there isn't really anything peaceful about a pistol and two magazines.
You know, and some people may say that they overreact. The guy was shot 10 times, but you got five ICE agents trying to pin him down. He's not behaving. He's not
Right.
following instructions. And then someone sees the gun. They shout out "gun," and that's all it took. But you have to think of what transpired to me. Okay, what transpired up to that point where the ICE agents pulled out their guns, and started shooting. They had hours and hours of whistles, horns, drums, screaming, pushing, pulling, all kinds of stressful things that put these guys on high freaking alert. And when they heard gun, they reacted the only way that they could have, and that was to pull out their gun
Right,
and shoot first.
right. Now,
Uh,
maybe that's wrong. Maybe we need to move to I don't know, sharpshooters in interspersed within the ICE operation.
perhaps, perhaps,
One person is going to be able to take out one person if
you know,
they're
you,
that much of
you
a
know,
threat.
perhaps, instead of using a live ammo gun, give them tasers. Maybe that's what they got to start doing. Give these guys tasers.
If you shock them to death, it's going to be the same thing. The
Yeah, they
people are
have.
going to react
Oh,
the
they
same.
had a bad heart or something like
Right,
that.
right, and you don't have time to figure that out. The point is, the way I see it, is that Renee Nicole Good didn't need to drive where she was.
Yeah, yep.
She didn't need to spend the day driving and interfering before. She could have proven her point through other ways. Unfortunately, she made the ICE team that was there think that they were at risk. So the officer did what he needed to do. And the officer that did it evidently spent time out with 34 stitches and I think some staples in one of his legs. And, maybe he was the wrong person to send out again, because maybe he was not necessarily trigger happy, but trigger happy in the way that he didn't want to go through what he went through again. So maybe he should not be doing that job for a while to make sure that he's okay, and then send him back.
It just seems to me that those on the left would rather protect and support the criminals and not the ones following the laws. Like Ilmar Omar and that guy that had that chemical in his syringe that he shot at her, right?
Turned out to be supposedly apple cider vinegar and some kind of a stink agent. Neither of which were a threat to her.
Right. Now, there are many people thinking that was staged. So here you are, you're a senator, senator of Congress, and she gets sprayed with this stuff, and she goes on with her speech. Now, if she had any concern about that being a chemical that could do her harm, she should immediately left and seek out medical help. She didn't. So she knew damn well it was not going to hurt her.
Well, that's what I think. I think she knew. I think it was staged. As I said on another broadcast, I think the guy sat in the front row in front of her. They then kind of walked around to make sure he had a clean shot on just hitting her. And then she just, I just need to tell him that to dry off.
It would be interesting to see if someone could follow to see if that guy had charges pressed against him, wound up in jail.
I don't think he's going to wind up.
I think it was all staged
in jail, because Democrats seem to be debunking this, that he was somehow involved in something on her quote unquote fake winery, that he got paid $50,000 for doing something. And of course the Democrats debunk it and the AIs debunk it. And, if you ask the AI the right way, they seem to agree with you and go on. So, we need to get straight answers on things that we don't.
I'm looking at another image from the, I guess, Grammys with Lady Gaga and her outfits. Oh, what the hell? These people are crazy. They really, truly are.
I think it's just another thing of people think that's what people want to see them dressed in. I could never be an entertainer at one of those award shows, because if I showed up in a polo shirt and a pair of sweats like I have on now, they'd probably kick me out. So
Okay.
I'm sorry, Dave, but you're not dressed appropriately to attend here. You
Yeah.
know, but I'm not coming in a dress. I'm not coming in high heels. I'm not coming in.
And that's why they won't let you in.
Well, maybe that's why they won't let me in. But maybe then I don't need to be there. I've worn high
Yeah.
heels. I told you. Well, actually, you weren't there, but I said on that broadcast that I
Yeah. Go ahead. I
wore
know.
I wore high heels
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
for
Yeah.
about 8 hours. That was the bet. That was what I bet. I bet that I could sell shoes in the shoe department of a J.C. Penney store for 8 hours wearing spike heels, and someone took the bet. So of course I had to do the right thing and honor the commitment I made. They did give me some comfort that they put them in
Tell
a.
me someone took pictures.
Well, I don't know if they did. They stretched them for 2 days because I have a D foot and spike heels are usually a
Yeah.
narrow foot. So they did make it polite for me, and you know I think it was 8 hours that I said it, or it might have been more, whatever the shift was. But I think it was an 8 hour shift, and I did. And I swear to God,
Wow.
my feet hurt for 2 days, but I did
I
what
remember.
I would do.
I remember when I was in, it was either fourth or fifth grade. We were living with my grandmother in Mountville. My dad was over in England. He got transferred to England, and he was getting the house set up for mom, my brother, and me to go to England. So, and it was Halloween, and they're trying to figure out a costume for me. So, well, guess what they did? They gave me a freaking dress, high heel shoes, and a purse. They dressed me up as a girl. I that's the only my only memories of that is walk around in the living room wearing a dress with high heels and a purse. I have no idea what happened afterwards. I don't think I want to know as far as what happened afterwards, but I do remember that. I do get going, but
Yep.
I want to give you guys a heads up. Next, probably I'm going to talk to the author, but I'm trying to think. Next
Okay.
Tuesday, if not
Yep.
Tuesday, Thursday, I'll be doing a
Okay.
broadcast to continue the broadcast with Chris Edwards, who wrote some phenomenal books. Uh,
Good.
and we already did two. The one's hitting close to 500 views so far, which is pretty cool. He wrote a book about William Clark Control. He was a colonel. He was a ranger during the war between the North and the South. And he wrote a book, books, plural, because of what this guy here did. This guy here, I just finally got this book.
Yep.
Um, Amazon normally is very good. You place an order, it says it's going to be there in 2 days. It's there in 2 days. So I bought this book. It's 31 freaking dollars, right?
Okay.
I wanted to use it for a broadcast that I was going to do with him.
Hmm.
After I placed the order, it went from a 2 day delivery to 2.5 freaking weeks. So I
Okay.
finally got it. Uh, but this guy is a Yankee. He's lives in the North. So he did a book about Control, but he wrote it from that aspect of, we won the war, you lost the war, ha ha ha. We're going to change history to reflect what we want people to think you did wrong. It has
Yep.
all these things that historically and factually is incorrect. So this guy, Chris Edwards, was in college. He has a master's in history. He decided that something wasn't right with that book. So he wanted
Okay.
to set the record right. So he went and did the research. He used the exact same research that guy did to find
Okay.
out that guy left out a lot of evidence because it didn't fit the narrative of the liberal left. So he wrote books, plural, uh, volume one, volume two,
Okay.
volume three, more evidence, and the tour guide to
But
the attack. And so Tuesday, if not Tuesday, Thursday, we'll be discussing volume number two about the control rates and why he did what he did.
okay.
Um, it's pretty cool. These authors are reaching out to me. I got another
Good.
guy who's writing a book about Confederate officers who suffered with epilepsy during the war, and he actually has a huge list. He has like 500-page book he's writing. He's going to send it to me for me to read, and then we'll do a broadcast about that.
Yeah.
He's another author. He's finishing up a book that'll be ready for publication sometime this month. His
Good.
book is about men who came from different countries to fight in the war on the side of the South. He has all this information. It's going to be like a 500-page book as well. So a lot of stuff going on. I
Very
have
good.
some other things in the works that I can talk about later as I get more
Okay.
details. But it's pretty cool. So I'm being kept busy.
Good.
Now I'm back to Dave's show Monday, Wednesday, and Friday,
Monday, Wednesday,
10,
Friday, 10 a.m.
10 a.m. And with that, I got to get back to work.
Okay. All right, Randy. Always a
care.
pleasure. I will
Yep.
see you on Wednesday.
Yep.
Okay. Let me see. All right, Randy Rhodes. All roads lead to home, genealogy, and tons of other stuff. And if you're interested in the other stuff or the genealogy stuff, make sure you message Randy, and I'm sure he will help you. We didn't invite anyone else today because I wasn't sure how things were going to go, but it seems that we jumped right back in where Randy and I always were. Kind of an odd couple situation, Felix and Oscar, and you can decide who is who if you want to, but I kind of liked it. Kind of float all over the place, which I like to do anyway, but we touched on several different things. Each side had a view. And if you thought I talked too long when it was my turn, please let me know, okay? Please let me know. If you thought I talked too long when it was my turn, then please let me know. Because I want to learn that so that I can pass it to other people. Sometimes you have to talk long and sometimes you don't. So, Ray Figgins, you're welcome to join us on Wednesday if you want to join us on Wednesday. And we will have fun. We will be live on Facebook, on my profile, and we will be live on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel, which is www.youtube.com/@DaveGlovin. It brings you right to the Boogie with the Bull YouTube page. You get a chance to look around at the old things that we have done, and you get a chance to look at the new things that we're doing, and you get a chance to just have fun and drink coffee. as we say, that's what we do now. We have fun, we drink a lot of coffee. And today it was Maxwell House, and it was good because added to it was sugar and chocolate creamer this morning. The chocolate caramel creamer that I drank does make it a bit lighter, but they haven't seemed to have had it at the Wally Worlds that we look for. But anyway, I digress. Anyway, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel or live on X if you go to the post and click the link. The same thing on streetlock.com if you go to the post and click the link. I didn't have enough time to finish what I need to do so that I can do it on Rumble, because on Rumble they hide how you can do it. You're allowed to do it. We're all allowed to do it. They just hide it in a different procedure, and it would have took longer than I had known. But we will be able to post a link on Rumble. We'll also be able to post a link on Wimkin, which we know how to do. I just didn't have enough time. So we were live on X and on Streetlock today. And we'll see how that goes. And if you want us live wherever you are on the internet, please let us know, and we will try to do it live there. If a place costs money to be a member, no, we can't be live there because we're not in a paying position. for that. We can do it without paying for it. Not, not that we're good or the best at what we do. We just don't pay for it because you don't have to. Anyway, I'm Dave. I'm Dave Glovin, and you're not. Go out and make it a fantastic day. It looks like the sun is up and it is sitting around 42 degrees in northern Florida, and it should go, well, it's going to go down on Thursday. It's going to go down to 38 degrees. Friday, it goes back up to 43 in the morning, a high of 62 in the evening. Today, it's looking like it will be a low of 32, and we've exceeded that. We're at 42 degrees right now, and we could go as high as 53, maybe even higher. Who knows? But that's what weather is telling us. So everybody is welcome to be on if you want to be on. Like I said, the rules are you just treat everybody with the respect that you deserve, and we will treat you with the respect that you deserve for doing that. Anyway, and we just drink coffee and have fun and drink coffee. Anyway, I'm Dave Glovin, and you're not. And I'm going to go get ready to have some fun later this afternoon. So we're going to go now, I think. And we don't have